And Jack, did you, having been in the machinist business, did you enjoy working in the shops here, or did Ian set those up, or did you set them up?
No, I'd had enough when I was working.
So Ian, you set up all those all the stuff in the shops.
Yeah, pretty well. We were trying to make windmills work, so we tried that for quite a few years.
How did that go?
I wouldn't say it was a success. I would say it was a qualified success. I mean, I think wind energy is just a really difficult thing. I was always approaching it had to be economic, and so we were trying to make something that was cheap enough that it could be economic. And I think the jury is still out as to whether you could do that or not. And so I'd make things that would blow up because they were so cheap. So the idea is that we would pump water and store energy, or use it for irrigation or things like that. So we were sort of an agricultural kind of variant.
Where did you've got quite a few steam engines. When did you start collecting those?
I've been collecting stuff my whole life. And I used to go with my dad. He worked at Barbers, and he was the guy that was in charge of scrap. So on Saturday mornings we would go to the scrap dealers, and he would haggle away to get the best price for it. And because they were trying to curry favor with him, they would let me take whatever I wanted, so I would be able to grab whatever parts of anything that was a kid could pick up. So I started collecting then, and just sort of took over with the rest of my life, I guess.
Can you tell us a bit more about one of your important assistants over the past few years, Doug Newell?
Yeah, so Doug's been here for, I think, it'll be 16 years this year. And I had I always wanted to take a blacksmithing course, but I could never get away to do it. So I put an ad in the British Blacksmith magazine and said I was looking for somebody to come over here for a month, and I'd take time off from work, and he'd give me a blacksmith course. So Doug came, and he's just a guy who's he's a genius, and so he's really can make anything out of anything, and he has he has all the good parts and bad parts of being a genius. If you ask Doug what time it is, he starts telling you how to build the gears in your watch. but he's just an amazing guy and really changed my life. I mean, he's a true perfectionist. There's either I start and I finish, and I'm not finished until it's perfect. And so it doesn't matter how long it takes, it doesn't matter how much effort it is, he will go to the end when he thinks it's perfect. And so before, when I was doing things, I'd get to a point where I'm like, this is good enough, let's get on to the next one. And that set points moved far to the right after being around Doug. He went back, but he worked for me for probably another month, and he really liked it here. And so when he went back, I decided, this is one of the best guys I've worked with in my life. I should try and get him to come back and work here. So we went through the immigration process, which is a non-trivial exercise, because if somebody's really skilled and really talented, Canada does their best to keep them out. so we went through a giant process to get him here, but we finally got him here, and he's been here for 16 years. Well, he was, involved in the house and the museum, and we were on a quest to make as many metal things as we could in a house by hand, and so he did a lot of that work. Now he's over at Carrick Ridge building the first building there, but he's really doing everything. I mean, he's involved in pretty well every decision we make about how do we do a road, or where is it orientated, or how does it go, and how can we do it better. And so he's really in some ways the guy on the ground trying to make that happen.